Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Stephen Curry sealed Golden State's play-in win with an unusually smooth move. The Golden State Warriors worked for months to avoid the NBA's play-in tournament in order to rest a veteran roster, but weren't able to do so. But all's well that ends well, as the Warriors were able to use their home court advantage to sail past the Memphis Grizzlies 121-116. Stephen Curry, as he's done so many times before in the biggest moments, put things out of reach by knocking down a three-pointer to extend the Warriors' lead to 6 points with 59.5 seconds remaining in regulation. How he did it, however, was a bit rivalry, as he put a bold new twist on a classic move. Curry performed not one but two pump fakes on a scrambling Scottie Pippen Jr. to cause maximum effort and no defensive success. It's unclear if the math makes this a triple pump fake or double clutching twice means it's a quadruple fake or something else entirely. That's not important, as it's just meant to be enjoyed with the victory. Golden State sets up a best-of-7 series against the Houston Rockets, the Western Conference's number 2 seed. Curry and Coase remain incredibly dangerous, and it will be interesting to see just how many more magical moments he has in the holster. The Golden State Warriors are returning to the NBA playoffs after a one-year absence, and they will be the 7th seed in the Western Conference. They earned that 7th seed by shoving past the Memphis Grizzlies in a contentious play-in tournament game on Tuesday. After the Warriors got out to a sizable lead, the feisty Grizzlies made things very tight in crunch time, but Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler were just too much for the Grizzlies. Curry scored 37 points even though he wasn't as efficient as usual, while Butler threw in 38 points on 12 of 20 shooting from the field. Butler, who was known for turning things up a notch in pressure situations such as the one his team faced on Tuesday, expressed his supreme belief in Curry afterward while saying he is Robin to Curry's Batman. "I think any team has a chance when I'm on the team, but I know that every team has a chance if Steph's on the team," Butler said. Fans reacted to his comment on X. Fact check true. One fan wrote, "They're a great team." Another fan wrote, "Jimmy is a legend. Respect to Jimmy for keeping it real." A third fan wrote, "That's high praise for Steph. Shows how much players recognize his impact on the game. Playoff Jimmy is real thing." A fourth fan wrote, "Suddenly I like Jimmy." Butler wrote a fifth fan all words. A sixth fan dismissively wrote, "He predicts a ring every year." Butler came to Golden State 2 months ago in a trade that acted like a major defibrillator shock to the franchise's heart, which seemed to be dying a slow death prior to his arrival. The team was badly in need of a second star and a general infusion of talent at the time. In addition, Curry seemed to be starting to show his age as his shooting percentages were falling below his career averages. But now the Warriors are wide awake again, and they're hungry. They have been one of the NBA's best defensive teams since the All-Star break, and most feel they will have a good shot at defeating the Houston Rockets, their opponent in the first round of the playoffs. Draymond Green's honest thoughts on Jimmy Butler after Warriors game. If anyone still doubted that playoff Jimmy is a real thing after all these years, they got another reminder on Tuesday that it certainly is real. Jimmy Butler, the 6-time All-Star forward who was traded by the Miami Heat to the Golden State Warriors 2 months ago, tossed in 38 points on 12 of 20 shooting in the play-in tournament against the Memphis Grizzlies. He continually kept the Warriors one step ahead of Memphis and allowed them to walk away with a 121-116 victory. They will now head to the NBA playoffs as the 7th seed and face the 2nd-seeded Houston Rockets in the first round. Teammate Draymond Green knows that the hype surrounding Butler is well-deserved. He's different. You can just see a whole different intensity level from him. Green said Butler sometimes seems to lay in the weeds during the first 3 quarters of a game, especially during the regular season, but in crunch time, or throughout a very crucial game such as Tuesday's game, he seems to transform into someone else, much like how Dr. Robert Bruce Banner turns into the Hulk when faced with immense pressure prior to his arrival. The Warriors dynasty was gasping for air and seemed to be dying a slow, painful death, but Butler has seemingly restored them to something resembling their vintage selves, and as a result many feel the team can win this season's NBA championship. Golden State went 23-8 to close out the regular season. Once Butler played his first game with it, Dubs Nation is familiar with such late season runs. They often foretell a Larry O'Brien trophy for Golden State. Blockbuster trade idea: Kevin Durant to the Warriors, Draymond Green to the Suns. A sensational trade scenario has emerged that could redefine the Western Conference landscape. Kevin Durant returning to the Golden State Warriors with Draymond Green heading to the Phoenix Suns. The proposal was recently floated by Bleacher Report's Andy Bailey. Golden State Warriors receive Kevin Durant, Phoenix Suns receive Draymond Green, Buddy Hield, Jonathan Kuminga vs. and trade 2026 first-round pick and 2028 first-round pick. The proposed deal includes Draymond Green, Buddy Hield, Jonathan Kuminga via sign-in trade, a 2026 first-round pick, and a 2028 first-round pick going to Phoenix in exchange for Durant, with the Suns reportedly planning to work with Durant on a potential trade, and having already parted ways with head coach Mike Budenholzer. A seismic move like this doesn't feel far-fetched. Durant has been vocal in the past about not wanting to return to Golden State, and Shams Charania confirmed that the Warriors explored a deadline deal for Durant earlier this season before the former MVP shot it down. However, things change quickly in the NBA, and if the Warriors suffer another early playoff exit, the franchise may be forced to revisit all options for Golden State. This would be a bold and potentially polarizing move. Draymond Green has been the emotional engine of the Warriors dynasty, a defensive maestro whose chemistry with Stephen Curry was essential to their identity. Swapping him out for Durant would mean abandoning that rugged defensive backbone in favor of elite shot-making and star power. But with Curry now 37 and Jimmy Butler now 35, time is running out. Adding Durant, who averaged 26.6 points, 6.00 rebounds, and 4.2 assists on 52.7% shooting this season, would give the Warriors another legitimate shot at a title. The inclusion of Buddy Hield and Kuminga helps the deal work financially and strategically. He, a proven shooter, could be flipped or plugged in for spacing, while Kuminga is a 22-year-old with tantalizing upside. He has struggled for consistent minutes in Golden State, but could thrive with a larger role in Phoenix, where athleticism and energy are in short supply. His addition, combined with 2 first-round picks, gives the Suns a solid mix of youth and assets to rebuild. From Phoenix's perspective, the trade could finally put an end to the Durant-Booker experiment, which has failed to yield postseason success. They not only get future draft flexibility, but also bring in Draymond Green, a 4-time champion who could instill a championship culture in a franchise that has often lacked toughness and identity. While Green doesn't replace Durant, scoring, his defensive acumen and leadership could help stabilize the locker room. If Durant ever reconsiders stance, this deal could give both teams a necessary reset. For Golden State, it's about one last run at the top with Curry. If the season doesn't work out for Phoenix, it's about turning the page. Whether it actually happens remains to be seen, but the framework is already built and the intrigue is undeniable. And you, Finn, what do you think about Kevin Durant's situation? Write to us in the comments.